All right, so let's start this shorter unit. I think it's the shortest unit of the whole course, and this is Unit 3, all about inequalities. So, inequalities we use a lot in real life for real life situations, and it is useful to know how to be able to manipulate them, and we're going to have to end up graphing them eventually. So, the first symbol we'll talk about is the greater than symbol. So y, for the example problem, it's y is greater than 6. So that's how you say it, is y is greater than 6. Here's how you graph it. So when you're graphing these, I want a minimum of 3 numbers. And think of your number line, because you're going to get a point for making the correct number line. So put 6 in the middle. And then if you remember from a number line, if you go towards the left, that's getting smaller. So we'll have a 5 there. And then if you go to the right, it's getting bigger, so 7. Okay, so that's enough for the number line for me. You don't have to go all the way from 0 up to 6 or whatever. Just do one above it and one below it in the correct order. You don't want 5 on the other side. So anyway, so since it is greater than, this is going to have an open dot. And we're going to all of the numbers greater than 6, so we're going to be going to the right. So you just kind of draw it something like that. Okay, the next one is the less than symbol, and you say it as x is less than 2. So let's make, and this is how you graph it. We're going to put 2 in the middle and then do 1 above, which would be 3, 1 below, which would be 1. Okay, so just like the last one, this is also an open dot on 2. And x is less than 2, so all the numbers less than 2 would be going to the left. Okay, so both of these are open dots, so for those two. All right, the next one, we're going to be doing a is greater than or equal to -3. So let's put a -3 here. And now this is where you have to be careful when you're making your number line, because people can make a mistake here. So if you're going one smaller than -3, think of your number line. It would be -4. And then one larger than -3 would be -2. I know it's backwards, but that's just how negative number lines work. Okay, so this time it's going to be a closed dot. And the reason is it's greater than or equal to, so it could be that number -3. So greater than or equal to goes this way. Okay, and so I didn't say this up above, but I should have. The reason up above those were open dots is because they don't include the actual number. So like this one doesn't include 6. It's all the numbers really close to 6, like 6.1 and 6.0004 and all those really small numbers, but it doesn't actually include the whole number 6. Okay, and then the last of our symbols is m is less than or equal to -7. So let's go ahead and plot that. So -7 will be in the middle, -8 on the left, and -6 on the right. This is also a closed dot because it's or equal to. And then less than or equal to would be going to the left. So if you noticed, these two were closed dots. Okay, so here's what we're doing for this section. Write the following inequalities as a verbal expression and then graph it. So you're going to have to be able to read these. So if you read this out loud, so z is less than or equal to -2. So that's how you would write it out. Z is less than or equal to -2. Then let's make our graph. So we're going to put -2 in the middle, then -3, -1. Okay, so that would be a closed dot because it's less than or equal to. And then it's going to go to the left. Okay, another way, if you want to remember, I always remembered whenever I was a kid that it points at the corner points at the smaller number. So z is less than. If it was this way, it would be z is greater than, because -2 would be the smaller number. So z would have to be bigger. Okay, so for this one, they actually write it backwards. And I found students sometimes mix it up whenever they're doing this because they forget to flip it. So you actually read it backwards. This is x is greater than 9. So if you want, if that messes you up when it's flip-flopped, flip it back to the normal way, that if you like it this way. So you would say x is greater than 9. Okay, so put 9 in the middle. All right, greater than, that doesn't have the line underneath it, so it's going to be an open dot. And x is greater than, so it would be going this way. Okay, the next one. This would be, it looks like the variables on the left, which is the way it's easiest to read, I think. So this is h is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so go ahead and put your 0 in the middle. -1 would be the small, like to go 1 down, and +1 would be 1 above. All right, open or closed dot on this one. It is a closed, and it's greater than or equal to, so it's going to the right to all of the numbers that are greater than 0. All right, last one. They wrote it backwards, so remember you read it backwards. X is less than or equal to 12, so if you want, rewrite it. So x is less than or equal to 12. All right, so 12 is in the middle. Then we've got 11 and 13. So what does less than or equal to have? That would be a closed dot. And less than, if you're going less than 12, you'll be going to the numbers this way. All right, that was it for Inequalities Basics.